Fiancé crossed the line at her bachelorette party, so I canceled the wedding on the spot. I'm Leon, 29, commercial real estate broker in Manhattan. Been with Brooke, 27, for 3 years, engaged for 8 months. She's a pediatric nurse at Mount Sinai. Or was, I should say, pretty sure she's about to lose that job too after what happened. Our wedding was supposed to be next Saturday. 200 guests, ceremony at her family's church upstate, reception at the Garrison overlooking the Hudson. We'd dropped close to $80K on this thing. Her daddy insisted on going all out for his little girl. Richard's a retired NYPD captain, old school guy who treated me like the son he never had. That's what makes this worse. Friday night was her bachelorette party. Nothing crazy planned, dinner at some trendy spot in Tribeca, then bottle service at Apex, this upscale club in meatpacking. I wasn't worried. Brooke had always been the responsible one in her friend group. The one who held everyone's hair back, called the Ubers, made sure everyone got home safe. Her maid of honor Marissa kept sending me updates early in the night, silly photos of them in their matching bride tribe shirts, Brooke with her little tiara, all that basic SHT. I was home reviewing contracts for a $40 million property deal closing Monday. My brother Connor was supposed to come over, he owns a brewery in Brooklyn, but got caught up with some equipment failure. So it was just me, my laptop, and a glass of Macallan. At 11:47 p.m., I got a text from Theo. Theo manages security at Apex. We went to Syracuse together, and he'd actually gotten me on the guest list there plenty of times before I met Brooke. Solid dude, not the type to start drama. Yo G, your girl's here tonight, right? The nurse? Yeah, bachelorette party. Why? You might want to know what's happening in VIP right now. My gut tightened, but I stayed calm. Talk to me. They hired entertainment. Male entertainment. I set down my drink. And? Brother. She's not just watching. The next 15 minutes were a masterclass in controlled information gathering. Theo wasn't being dramatic or vague, he was professional, specific. They'd hired 2 strippers. Brooke was the center of attention. What started as typical bachelorette party BS, lap dances, body shots, had escalated. She was drunk but not wasted. She knew what she was doing. I'm sending you something. Not trying to wreck your life, but you deserve to know. The first video came through at 12:03 a.m. There was my fiancée, the woman who'd stood next to me at my grandfather's funeral 2 months ago, straddling some oiled up wannabe Magic Mike. Her hands were in his waistband. Her friends were cheering. She was grinding on him like she was auditioning for a pea shoot. The second video was worse. Different angle, clearly a few minutes later. She had her mouth on his chest, working her way down. Her engagement ring, the 2-carat cushion cut I'd spent 3 months searching for, was clearly visible on her hand as she grabbed his DK through his tearaway pants. The third video ended any possibility of explanation or excuse. I won't describe it in detail, but let's just say when a woman has her hand inside a stripper's thong while her tongue is in his mouth, there's no it's not what it looks like defense available. I didn't throw my phone. I didn't punch a wall. I didn't even finish my drink. I opened my laptop and got to work. First, I logged into our wedding website. Cancelled. Sent a mass email to all guests. Due to circumstances discovered this evening, the wedding between Leon and Brooke scheduled for next Saturday has been cancelled. No further explanation will be provided at this time. Thank you for understanding. Then I started making calls. It was past midnight, but this couldn't wait. Richard answered on the second ring. Old cop habits. Leon? Everything okay? Richard, I need you to sit down. I have something to tell you about Brooke. The silence after I explained and sent him the videos was the longest 30 seconds of my life. That F-king idiot, he finally said. Not my daughter would never, or there must be an explanation. Just pure disappointment. Send me everything. I'll handle our side of the family. Next call, the venue. Left a voicemail for their events coordinator that we were canceling and would discuss deposit forfeiture Monday. Same with the caterer, florist, band, and photographer. Documented everything, timestamps and all. I called my brother. Connor answered, music blaring in the background from his brewery. Need you at my apartment. Now. What happened? Brooke happened. Bring a truck. While waiting for Connor, I methodically packed her SHT. 3 years of accumulated belongings into boxes. Her grandmother's china she'd moved in 6 months ago for safekeeping? Boxed. The expensive Peloton she barely used? Disconnected and ready to go. Every piece of clothing, every shoe, every bottle of skincare product from our bathroom. I even found the love letters I'd written her during our first year. Those went in the trash, not the boxes. Connor arrived at 1:45 a.m. Took one look at my face and started loading boxes without questions. That's brotherhood. By 3 a.m., her entire existence had been erased from my apartment. Connor stored everything in his brewery warehouse. I changed the locks. Building Super owed me a favor from when I'd helped his son get a restaurant lease. Then I did something that would matter later. I called Santo, my attorney. Left a detailed voicemail about the situation and that I'd need his services Monday morning regarding the apartment lease, both our names, and any potential financial entanglements. At 3:47 a.m., while Brooke was still getting her last night of freedom on, I opened a new checking account online and moved my half of our joint savings. Clean, legal, documented. I finally went to bed at 4:30 a.m. Set my alarm for 8 o'clock. She had texted me at 2:15 a.m., heading home baby. Such a fun night. Love you. I didn't respond. Update 1, the confrontation. She got home at 9:15 a.m. Saturday morning. I heard her keys jingling outside for a solid minute before remembering I'd changed the locks. The doorbell rang. Then again. Then her fist pounding. Leon? Baby? My key's not working. I opened the door. She stood there in yesterday's clothes, makeup smeared, holding her heels in one hand and her phone in the other. The bride-to-be sash was still draped across her shoulder. Hey. Crazy night. Marissa got so drunk we had to. She stopped mid-sentence, finally looking at my face. What's wrong? I stepped aside. Come in. We need to talk. She walked past me, already shifting into damage control mode. I could see it in her posture. She knew something was up but was calculating what I might know. Is everything okay? Did something happen with the wedding? I picked up the remote and turned on the TV. The videos were queued up, paused on a crystal clear opening frame of her with her hands down a stripper's pants. The color drained from her face so fast I thought she might faint. Wait, I can explain. I hit play. The sound was on. Her drunk giggling filled our living room. Her friends chanting last night of freedom. As she grabbed the stripper's cock. Leon, please, it's not. I switched to the second video. Then the third. Each one worse than the last. She dropped to her knees. Literally fell to the floor, skinning her knee on the hardwood. Please, baby, please let me explain. It meant nothing. I was drunk. The girls were pushing me to do it. I set the remote down and walked to the kitchen, pulled out the ring box from the drawer where we kept the spare keys. Leon, please, you have to listen to me. I slid the box across the counter to where she was kneeling. Wedding's cancelled. Your stuff is in storage at Connor's brewery. Your father knows. Your family knows. The guests know. You called my dad? At 12:26 a.m. He's seen the videos. That broke her. The sobbing turned hysterical. You don't understand. It was just fun. It didn't mean anything. All brides do this. All brides jack off strippers at their bachelorette party? I didn't. It wasn't. Your hand was inside his underwear, Brooke. Your engagement ring is visible in the video. She tried to stand, stumbled, caught herself on the counter. We can work through this. Couples therapy. We'll do counseling. No. You can't just throw away 3 years over one mistake. I can and I am. This is F-king insane. It was just dancing and touching. I didn't F him. I pulled out my phone, showed her a screenshot from video 3. Your tongue is in his mouth while you're J-king him off. What would you call that? I was drunk. You got drunk and showed me exactly who you are. She switched tactics, went from hysteria to anger. This is BS. You're seriously ending us over some male stripper? You've probably done worse at strip clubs. Never been to one since we started dating. Never touched another woman since our first kiss. Never even flirted. But nice try. You're being F-king dramatic. This is what people do at bachelor parties. Then you should have married people instead of me. She grabbed the ring box, threw it at my head. I dodged it easily, saw it coming from her wind-up. You're going to regret this, she snarled. You're throwing away the best thing in your life over nothing. The best thing in my life wouldn't have her hand on another man's DK 10 days before our wedding. F you. Get out. This is my apartment too. Your name's on the lease, but I've paid every cent of rent for 2 years. My attorney will handle the details. You have 5 minutes to get whatever you need for the next few days. The rest is at Connor's." She stormed to the bedroom, or tried to. Stopped dead when she saw the empty closet, the bare vanity where her makeup used to be. "You packed my things?" "Every last piece." "You had no right?" 5 minutes. "Starting now." She grabbed a phone charger and her purse. Made it to the door, then turned back. "We're not done. This isn't over." "Yes, it is. I'll fight for us. I'll prove you wrong. You'll see, you'll forgive me." "No, I won't." She left. I had a locksmith scheduled for noon to change the locks again, just in case she'd somehow made a copy in those 5 minutes. Update 2, the fallout. The next 48 hours were a masterclass in social media disaster management, hers, not mine. Saturday afternoon, Brooke started her campaign. First, a vague Instagram post, "Sometimes life throws you curveballs. Taking time to reflect and grow. Thank you to everyone reaching out with love and support." Her friends rallied in the comments. Heart emojis, "Stay strong queen," all that BS. Then someone, I'm guessing one of the 200 guests who'd received my cancellation email, asked publicly, "Is the wedding still on?" Brooke deleted the comment. But more kept coming. Within 2 hours, she disabled comments entirely. By Saturday evening, the real story was spreading. Theo, professional that he is, hadn't shared the videos with anyone except me. But Brooke's bachelorette party had been witnessed by an entire VIP section. One of her cousin's boyfriends had been at Apex that night, saw everything, and was more than happy to confirm the story when asked. Sunday morning, Richard called me. "How are you holding up, son?" "I'm good. Clean conscience helps with sleep. I wanted you to know, I've spoken to Brooke. She's staying with her mother and me for now." "Okay. She's not handling this well. Keeps saying you're overreacting. What do you think?" A long pause. "I think you're doing what I'd hope any man would do in your situation. I think my daughter kept up the best thing in her life and she knows it. I appreciate that, Richard. The money we contributed to the wedding, consider it a loss on our end. I'm not asking you to return anything. The deposits were non-refundable anyway. Probably lost $30K. Leon. I saw the videos. If some piece of SHT had done that to my daughter 10 days before their wedding, I'd have put him in the ground. You're handling this with more class than most would." Monday morning came with new developments. First, Santo called. The apartment lease was a month-to-month at this point. We'd been planning to buy a place after the wedding. He'd already drafted a notice to the landlord removing Brooke from the lease, leaving me as sole tenant. She had 30 days to contest it. Second, I got a call from Weston, my business partner. "Heads up, Brooke just showed up at the office." Our brokerage firm was on the 47th floor of a building in Fide. Security was tight, you needed a key card or to be on a guest list to get up. "How?" "Told security she was your fiancée bringing you lunch. They recognized her from the holiday party." "And?" "She's in the lobby demanding to see you. Making a scene. Call security. Have her removed. Send them her photo and make it clear she's not authorized to enter ever again." Already done. "But Leon. She looks rough." I didn't care how she looked. That afternoon, the texts started rolling in from mutual friends. The narrative was splitting into two camps, those who thought I'd overreacted to harmless fun and those who'd seen the videos. Richard, surprisingly, had shared them with select family members who were defending Brooke, and understood completely. Her friend Marissa, the maid of honor, texted me a novel about how sorry she was, how she'd tried to stop Brooke, how the other girls had encouraged it. I responded with 2 words, "You didn't." My phone rang constantly. I only answered for Connor, my parents, and Richard. Everyone else got silence. Tuesday brought an interesting development. A woman named Priya, who worked at Mount Sinai with Brooke, reached out via Instagram. "Hi Leon. You don't know me well, we met briefly at the hospital fundraiser last year. I wanted you to know that Brooke is telling people at work that you called off the wedding because you were cheating and projecting your guilt onto her. I know that's not true because several of us have seen the actual videos that are circulating. I thought you should know what she's saying." I screenshotted that message. Sent it to Santo. Defamation might be on the table if she kept it up. Wednesday, 3 days post-confrontation, she played her first real card. Update 3, the escalation. Wednesday evening, I was at the gym when Connor called. She's at the brewery. What? Brooke. She's here with 3 friends. They're asking about her stuff. Don't give them anything without my written permission. Wasn't planning to. But Leon. She's telling anyone who'll listen that you're abusive. That you isolated her from her friends, controlled her finances, and this whole thing is you manufacturing a reason to leave her. I was bench pressing when he said this. Carefully racked the weight, sat up. She's saying I'm abusive? Yeah. The whole victimized woman routine. One of my regulars is recording it on his phone right now. Good. Evidence. Don't engage with her, don't argue, just let her talk. You sure? Trust me. I cut my workout short, went home, and called Santo again. He was working late anyway. She's escalating, he said after I explained. Classic narcissistic injury response. She can't handle the public humiliation, so she's rewriting the narrative. What's my play? Document everything. Save every text, every voicemail, every social media post. If she keeps claiming abuse, we might need to consider a restraining order. Thursday morning at 6 a.m., my doorbell rang. Through the peephole, I saw Brooke. She was alone, dressed professionally like she was heading to work. I didn't open the door. Leon, I know you're there. Please. I just need 5 minutes. I stayed silent. I'm sorry, okay? I'm so f***ing sorry. I destroyed everything. I know that. But please, just talk to me. Nothing from me. I've been suspended from work. Someone sent the videos to HR. I'm probably getting fired. Still nothing. My dad won't even look at me. My mom cries every time she sees me. Silence. Please. Just open the f***ing door. She pounded on it for another minute, then left. I had it all on my doorbell camera. That afternoon, things got interesting. I got a LinkedIn message from a name I didn't recognize, Dominic Reeves. Hi Leon. Strange message, but I think you should know something. I work at Apex as a bartender. I was working the VIP section Friday night. Your ex-fiancée left her credit card at the bar. When she came back for it Saturday afternoon, she was with a friend trying to convince my manager to delete the security footage from that night. She offered him $5,000 cash. He didn't take it, but thought you should know she's trying to cover her tracks. I forwarded this to Santo and Richard. Richard's response was immediate, Jesus Christ. Who is this person? This isn't the daughter I raised. Friday, 1 week since the Bachelorette party, the real bomb dropped. Connor called me during lunch. You need to sit down for this. What now? Remember Brooke's friend from college? Maura? The one who lives in Boston? Yeah. She just called me. She's flying down tonight. Says she has information you need to know about Brooke. Something about this not being the first time. My blood went cold. What? She wouldn't say more on the phone. She wants to meet you in person. Tonight. I met Maura at a coffee shop in Williamsburg at 8 p.m. She looked exhausted, stressed. I've been debating saying anything since I heard about the cancellation, she started. But after seeing her play victim on social media, I can't stay quiet. What are you talking about? She pulled out her phone, scrolled through old messages. 2 years ago, when Brooke visited me in Boston. You were at that conference in Dallas, remember? I remembered. A 3-day commercial real estate summit. She hooked up with my neighbor. Spent the night at his place. Made me swear not to tell you. My chest tightened. You have proof? She showed me the texts. Brooke bragging about the conquest. Explicit details. Photos of her in his apartment. There's more, Maura continued. Last year, at my wedding. You left early Sunday for that emergency at work. She stayed for the Sunday brunch. Ended up in the coat room with one of the groomsmen. You're telling me this now? I'm sorry. I should have said something earlier. But she's my friend, was my friend. I thought. I don't know what I thought. That she'd stop? That it wasn't my business? But watching her destroy you publicly when I know the truth? I couldn't stay quiet. I took photos of all the evidence. Thanked Maura. Went home and forwarded everything to Richard with one message. This wasn't the first time. His response, I'm done with her. Whatever you need from me, character witness, testimony, anything, you have it. Update 4, The Reckoning. Saturday marked 1 week since the confrontation. The wedding should have been in a few hours. Instead, I was in my apartment, reviewing contracts for Monday's deal, when she made her final play. The doorbell rang at 10 a.m. Through the camera, I saw Brooke with her mother, Patricia. I actually felt bad for Patricia. She was a good woman who'd been nothing but kind to me. I opened the door but didn't invite them in. Patricia had been crying. "Leon, please. Just hear her out." "With respect, Patricia, there's nothing to discuss." Brooke looked different. The bravado was gone. She looked exhausted, defeated. "I know about Maura." "Good for you." "I'm sick, Leon. I need help. Sex addiction is a real thing." "Stop." "No, listen. I'm starting therapy. I'm going to get better. We can work through this." "Brooke, you cheated multiple times over 2 years. You exposed me to potential STDs without my knowledge or consent. You gaslit me every time I had concerns. And when caught, you tried to destroy my reputation. We're done." Patricia spoke up. "Leon, you loved her once. I loved who I thought she was. That person doesn't exist." Brooke stepped forward. "I'll do anything. Prenup, postnup, whatever you want. GPS tracking on my phone. I'll quit my job and work somewhere else. Anything. The person who would need those restrictions isn't someone I want to marry." "You're really going to throw away our whole future over mistakes?" "You threw it away when you made those choices. I'm just refusing to pick up the pieces." She pulled out her phone. "I recorded you once during sex. Without your consent. I'll release it if you don't give us another chance." Patricia gasped. "Brooke. What the F is wrong with you?" I actually laughed. "Go ahead. Add revenge P charges to your growing list of legal problems. Santo would love the billable hours." She realized her mistake immediately. "I didn't mean that. I'm just desperate. Please. We're done here. Patricia, I'm sorry you're going through this. You deserve better than what your daughter has put you through. Brooke, if you contact me again, I'll pursue a restraining order." I closed the door. An hour later, Richard texted, "Patricia told me about the recording threat. I'm disgusted. I've cut her off completely, financially and otherwise. She's on her own." The afternoon that should have been our wedding, I closed the biggest deal of my career, a $40 million mixed-use development in Long Island City. My commission would more than cover what I'd lost on the wedding. That evening, while Brooke was posting cryptic quotes about rising from the ashes on Instagram, I was having drinks with Connor and our parents, who'd flown in from Denver for what would have been the wedding. "You know what the F-ket up part is?" Connor said after his 4th beer. "She had everything. A man who loved her, supported her, never cheated, never even looked sideways at another woman. And she threw it away for what? Some greased up stripper's cock?" My mother, usually proper, raised her wine glass. To my son, who showed more strength and dignity in 1 week than most men show in a lifetime. We toasted. I didn't feel victorious. Just free. Update 5, 2 weeks later. It's been 2 weeks now since the Bachelorette party that ended everything. I wanted to give a final update for closure, mine and yours. Brooke was officially terminated from Mount Sinai on Monday. Turns out, sending the videos to HR wasn't the main issue. It was her attempting to access the hospital's computer system to delete emails where she'd discussed her extracurricular activities with a colleague. That's a HIPAA violation and potential federal crime. She's lucky they're not pressing charges. She moved back to Jersey with her mother after Richard kicked her out. Patricia and Richard are getting divorced. Apparently, this situation brought to light some other issues in their marriage. I feel terrible about that, but Richard assured me it was a long time coming. The mutual friend situation has settled. The people worth keeping sided with truth over comfort. The ones who thought I overreacted showed me who they were, and I'm grateful for the clarity. Maura sent me one more piece of information. Apparently, Brooke had created a Tinder profile 3 months before our wedding, just to see if she still had it. She'd been actively matching and chatting but swore to Maura she never met anyone. At this point, I don't care if that's true or not. The apartment is mine now. Brooke never contested the lease change, probably because Santo had compiled enough evidence of her defamation attempts to bury her in legal fees if she tried. I've been tested, full panel STD screening. All clear, thankfully. My business is thriving. Turns out, going through HL and maintaining composure impressed some of our bigger clients. One of them, who went through a similar situation years ago, pulled me aside and said, "Any man who can handle personal devastation while closing a $40 million deal is someone I want managing my portfolio." Connor's Brewery is launching a new beer. He's calling it Dignity, A smooth, strong ale that maintains its integrity even under pressure. He's donating the first month's profits to a men's mental health organization. I told him he was being dramatic. He told me to shut up and accept that people care about me. Last night, I ran into Theo at an industry event. He apologized again for having to be the messenger. Don't, I told him. You saved me from marrying someone who didn't exist. That's not something to apologize for. How are you so calm about all this? Because I know who I am. I know what I deserve. And I know that staying with someone who could do what she did would have been a betrayal of myself worse than anything she could have done to me. This morning, I got a final text from Brooke. A long rambling message about how she's in therapy, how she's discovered she has attachment issues and self-sabotaging tendencies, how she understands if I can never forgive her but hopes someday we can be friends. I didn't respond. Block the number. Some bridges aren't meant to be rebuilt, they're meant to stay burned so you remember not to go back to places that nearly destroyed you. To anyone reading this who's going through something similar, document everything. Protect yourself legally and financially. Don't engage with manipulation. And most importantly, know your worth. The person who truly loves you won't risk losing you for a moment's pleasure. They won't humiliate you publicly and then play victim when faced with consequences. The wedding that didn't happen 2 weeks ago would have been beautiful. The marriage that would have followed would have been a disaster. Sometimes the best gift someone can give you is showing you who they really are before it's too late to escape. I'm not dating yet. Not even close to ready. But I'm good. I'm free. I'm building the life I want without someone who saw my trust as weakness and my love as something to exploit. The ring? I sold it to a dealer for 70% of what I paid. That money went into an investment account I'm calling my future fund. Because I have one now. A real one. Without lies, without betrayal, without someone who could look me in the eye and promise forever while destroying everything behind my back. That's worth more than any wedding could have cost. Final edit. Since some of you asked, yes, the stripper situation was more extensive than what I described. The full video showed complete oral contact and manual stimulation to completion. I kept the descriptions limited because the point wasn't the explicit details, it was the betrayal. Whether she'd kissed him or f***ed him, the trust was equally dead. And for those saying I should have given her another chance, you're entitled to your opinion. But I'm entitled to my standards. And those standards include being with someone who doesn't need the threat of consequences to remain faithful. The best revenge isn't living well, it's living authentically, with boundaries intact and self-respect non-negotiable. Thanks for reading. I won't be updating again. Time to close this chapter completely. Leon. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you really like our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.